Hey guys, on today's Board Game Rundown, I'm going to talk about Disney Lorcana.
There's a game coming out on Kickstarter that is like Final Fantasy.
Okay.
Just want to remind everyone that Trailblazers is now live, and you've got time to get it.
And we've never talked about it on the show
Never
before.
talked about it.
Thunderworks is releasing Dawn of Ulos, an economic game in the role-player universe.
All that, new mics, and so much more.
That makes it so easy for me now.
It slipped.
Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Spencer.
Mike.
And this is the Board Game Rundown. Today we're going to talk about games we played. We're going to talk about some news and some crowdfunding.
All of
We're going
those
to talk about
things.
getting some cool mics.
Cool
guys,
mics.
let us
Cool
know what you
mics.
think.
Yeah, hopefully they
How they
sound
sound?
better.
Yeah, because we had one mic, but we decided we needed cool
One
mics.
more.
Yeah, we need some cool mics.
So we got cool mics.
Yeah, because we only had hot mics. So.
Oh,
Dang.
Okay.
I got nothing.
right.
I got nothing.
All I got is
All
make sure
right.
you like, subscribe, ring the bell, do
Ring
all
the
the
bell.
YouTube things, find us on Discord, do all that stuff because we're everywhere.
Continue
Tell
to
your
do those
friends.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, just so you guys know, I feel like this warrants mentioning is like we just had a video come out, right? Our underhyped reviews or games and stuff, and we had like some suggestions and things like that on things we could do to improve, and because people are engaging with us on the channel, in the comments and in the Discord and stuff, we actually take that stuff to heart, right? Because we want to provide a better show for you guys. So we are always working to improve. And the
Always.
best way to do that is just reach out to us and say, hey,
So
Yeah.
do the guys at Hunger Gamer going to notice another mic change? Are they keeping count this time?
the Elf Creek games, you
I
mean?
hope so.
So is that
Yeah.
There's a notch
Another-
on
another one.
piece of drywall somewhere that keeps track of that. But yeah, we're always open to suggestions, always looking to improve.
Definitely.
Great point.
Definitely.
Quick shout out to our Discord champion, Avocado Armament,
Oh boy, here we go.
aka Potato Legion,
Right.
Oh, okay.
aka Pepper Battalion.
Can we
Yeah.
can we
Go
get
ahead
him
and
in here at
add
some point?
Avocado Armament. You're welcome.
Right. Also,
To that list.
I need to shout out to Josh Peters because he was watching the show, has heard me apparently talk about King of Tokyo, like the Dark Edition or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
and he sent me a copy of it.
Oh,
sweet.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I am
Okay.
so excited because it's
I've
a
never
game,
played that version.
It's a game I like anyways, right? And I was just fascinated by the artwork. Like it looks so cool, and the box cover is great because it doesn't even have King of Tokyo on it. It's just
Right.
like a kaiju's head,
Yeah.
right? Like
Oh,
looking
man.
between buildings with the black and yellow contrast. And anyways, I play that game with my daughter like all the time, and Clark now starts to play it. And so now I've got like this really cool, like just awesome, version with the artwork. So I really appreciate that. You did
Awesome.
not have to do that.
No.
It was very kind of you. So anyways, let's go on to games we played. All right, what are Bobby?
Yeah. I played a couple games.
Just a couple?
Just a couple. Planet Unknown.
What?
I have
nice.
taught
Yeah.
this game to so many people and a lot of just Magic players and also people who just don't play a lot of games at all.
Sure.
But they caught on. They enjoyed it. It was fun. I didn't win, so good teacher. It's always nice to get those once in a
It's
while.
always
It
nice
is,
to hear that
yeah.
you lost.
I know. I figured you guys would appreciate that.
Right on. Yeah,
Yeah.
so Planet Unknown, super popular. I also recently played it on Sovereignty.
Okay.
That's an app, and they've got it's basically like tabletop simulator, but it makes you play the game correctly.
Yeah,
you
it
know?
plays you by the rules.
I gotta
Yes.
try that sometime.
But I got to play it. They host like a game night every Thursday or Tuesday, excuse me. Every Tuesday they host like this game night, and so. You can get on there at any time, and I could,
Right,
if you
look for a
had it,
server
I
or
could message
whatever.
you and say, "Hey, man, you want to hop on and play
Yeah.
whatever?" We could play Dice Miner because
That's
I
one
played
of the ones
Dice Miner
I'm
on
There
there
we go.
solo. I
Yeah.
played it a lot solo.
Wow.
It's really good. But it's 2 minutes
I've never thought about
because you're
playing
just
that
like boom,
solo.
boom, boom, doing
Yeah.
your turn.
I mind them all. I win.
Yeah, exactly how that works.
I should do that.
But anyways, they host a game night on Tuesdays, and then they're like they do like a Discord voice chat along with it. So
Yep.
it's like, hey, what does everybody want to play? And then they break off into groups depending. And I got to play Planet Unknown with a bunch of people.
Nice.
I need to not play the spatial games virtually because
Couldn't do it.
it's way better for me when I'm down, like when I can physically hold the
Take it,
pieces.
move it. Like, okay, I might pick this one. Hold on, let me see if it'll fit. Okay, it'll fit. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
It is,
I do
it is
not-
a different experience.
This is a user error, not a criticism
Right,
of the app. This is a criticism of myself
Yeah.
as a competent gamer.
Failure
You're one
to
of
interpret.
Yeah. So, but
That
anyways,
guy. Oh wait, that won't fit. Let me put it back.
yeah. But anyway, so yeah, please. What
Yeah.
else you got?
Acropolis. I played Acropolis
Nice.
a ton.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
it's
Yeah.
so good. Everybody seems to enjoy it. It's super quick. Play it multiple times sometimes when it gets on
Right.
the table. Yeah.
Starting
That is
understand why there was a
that's
run
going
on
to be
it.
interesting because that's like going to be a new gateway game, I think, for
Yep.
people.
Yeah.
You know,
That is a good
Yeah.
game. That's a good
Yeah, because
point.
again, it was with like people who normally only play Magic and or don't play any games at all.
sure.
And they picked up on it
Really
super
easy
quick.
to learn.
And, yeah,
Yeah.
it's super easy to learn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
They have it for sale at the store here now.
They do.
So it's,
Yeah.
it's available retail.
Find it in
Crowd
Yeah,
Wars.
it's out, it's
Watch
out
our
there.
review.
Yep.
Well done. You're not wrong.
The other one I got to play a bunch was the old school Aeon's End. So I was
Oh,
trying to
okay.
find some good
Nice.
cooperative
Oh, yeah.
play, and
Tim
again,
hates it,
I
but
was
go on.
playing with my Magic buddies a lot.
I didn't like it the one time I played it.
Yeah.
I said hates.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. I hate it.
You hate it, yeah. But they were fascinated with the you don't shuffle part of.
I think
you
that's
know.
the worst part. That's the part that breaks my brain.
No, oh my gosh! Because
I didn't even
you
know
water
that.
shuffle.
Try that.
Yes.
Because you like shuffle. No. Yeah.
Yeah, that breaks my brain, and I think when I play it again, because I will, I just need to. Also, when we played it, like we played it at Geekway, it was kind of late. You know what I mean? Like, it
Yeah.
was a
So
day
you're just kind of on
game.
autopilot a little bit.
Yeah. And it's like, oh yeah, let's play this deck builder, and it's like, oh,
not
I
that
can't
kind of deck
shuffle.
builder.
Yeah. And so again, and not a critic. My real criticisms of that game are like how many things there are out for it that you now can't get, and then the Kickstarters are all
Entry
very
point.
confusing, and because now it's like, oh well, you need to get the legacy, but then it's like, do I want $100 entry point into a legacy version of a game that's very popular? You know what I mean? It's just
Yes.
kind of difficult to get into.
Yes and no.
Now.
So to me, it does kind of what the thing you don't like about Ascension, right? It's the standalone expansions.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what most of them are, right? You buy them and it's just, you can play that by itself. But one of the cool things is you can take the heroes out of there and play them in any of the copies.
Sure.
Which is one of the cool things about the Legacy game is because you're literally building your character up throughout the Legacy game, and when you're done, you've got a character that you can take to any of the other Aeon's Ends game and play it in that game.
No, and I think that's great. I
Yeah.
think my issue is that I don't know which ones are truly standalone and which ones aren't.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
I think most of them technically are, unless you're getting like a small pack. Any of the boxes you get, you can play on it.
Okay, totally fair.
Yeah.
But I mean, just from like, I'm
Like
looking
one
at
of the
this,
Ascension
like, do I
ones.
have this? Like, I don't know. Ascension, I guess it all makes sense because all their
Boxes
expansions
are
are
this.
rectangles, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just know. But I thought Aeon's End, they had like one expansion that almost kind of reminded me of like a Marvel Champions, like, you know, like the Red
boss ones or
Skull.
whatever?
Yeah. And I was like, is that the full game? Because when
Yeah.
I play Marvel
They're-
Champions,
they're
that's not
all
a full
in the-
version of
they're
the
all
game.
in the smaller boxes,
You know,
except
so
the Legacy.
again, that is a Tim
Just a
problem,
perception thing.
but a perception thing, right? Because I
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
look at it and I don't want to just buy it, because then it would be like I'm trying to. I want to like the game, so I don't want to do anything to like sour my experience, even if
Sure.
I'm doing something to myself. But anyways, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. But then, anyway, they really enjoyed it, and I told them that I showed them the Legacy one that Levi and I have been
yeah.
playing through, and they're like, can we play through this? It's like, well, this is what that Levi and I are playing through. I go, but there's a new one out now that I've been hesitant to get because I've been looking for people. They're like, we're down.
Nice.
So I'm probably gonna pick up the new Legacy version, and we will play through all of that.
I know somebody that's been wanting to play Aeon's End for a while.
Who's that?
Hot mic.
What are you doing after the show?
Anybody cool though?
Yeah.
No, just hot mic.
Just hot
Oh,
mic.
we'll see. We played the Thanos Rising, right? So
Yeah,
it's
good
like
game.
Marvel Yahtzee, but it's still fun, right? Because
No, it's better than that.
It is better than that because you are building your team, getting more dice, and getting special abilities. It's not just roll the dice and you're done.
Yes.
Kind of a thing. But they really enjoyed that game, so we played that one. And then we played Lovecraft.
Letter.
Yeah.
Lovecraft Letter.
Lovecraft
yes.
Letter, sure.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of
Love Letter?
Love Letter,
Yeah.
but I enjoyed the Lovecraft version better
Okay.
than the original
Is
version.
it just a reskin, or did they add
No,
new
there's
mechanics?
new mechanics. There's
Yeah.
totally new mechanics. I think. Well, I love Love Letter. I think it's a great game. I don't want to play it every day, but I think it's a great game. And Lovecraft Letter, yeah, it's just a nice twist on it, right?
Yeah.
It does something
Nice
a little
size
bit
tarot
different.
cards. You had little fancy chips for the wins. I
Yeah.
won too, so that typically helps.
Well,
you know.
you just started off real slow.
I
too.
did real slow.
We're like, oh, Bob, thanks
Yeah.
for sitting down at the table
Yeah,
with us. You got to play?
I've only played the Batman Love
Oh,
Letter,
Batman
which
Love
I
Letter
bought years ago.
Is really good, but also like a little overhyped because it went out of print, and then everybody's like, Batman
Yeah.
Love Letter. I mean,
I've
it's-
gotten so many trade offers for it.
yeah. Don't
like,
ever
no.
trade it.
That's
Don't ever trade it.
And then we played Tinder Blocks.
hey.
Yes, we all.
And that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Tinderblocks is.
It's up there somewhere. Maybe,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Did they like the tweezers?
I didn't mind the tweezers.
I think
Okay,
so.
I had a problem with the tweezers.
Bob's the only person that doesn't
In
have an
slow-mo.
issue with those flimsy tweezers.
So I think
Go watch the explosion.
Deluxify it and go to Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
I think the other thing though with the tweezers though is it's not really because I was thinking about this actually.
It
a little
doesn't
bit.
grab anything.
Well, I think it's because the blocks aren't symmetrical,
That's part of it.
Yes.
so that
Plus-
it throws the tweezers off.
And I don't think the tweezers are perfectly aligned. I think they're slightly off, which would make you.
But that may or may not be intentional. That might
got a warp
be.
Exactly, it might be part of the game.
Yeah.
I got a warped one.
I got a. Why do I always
But
get
it's
the
a
warped
warped
one?
one. That's a work. We got you.
Yeah.
Pick that up. Hot mic.
After that, Jonathan, who comes to our Meeple meetups all the time, while we were doing the Tinder Blocks review, set up Terracotta Army.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
I want to play this.
Dan and I sat down with another one of
I
our
wanna play
Meeple
this.
attendees, and I liked it. I did very poorly, but I liked the decisions. Now I know like how like those decisions work. And we didn't actually play like the last one. Like we had people that had to go, so it's like
Oh,
we played
sure.
up till the last round, and then we went ahead and scored the final round, but we didn't get to actually play through it all. And I might have gotten a few more points out of that, but I didn't score many points the first two like rounds
Sure.
or whatever. But
I'm fascinated by the
the wheel.
the
the
wheel.
wheel.
Man,
the
that
way
thing
looks
It
cool.
wanted to turn the wrong way for me every single time I wanted to turn it. I'm like, I want to go. Oh, I can't because one wheel goes one way, the other wheel goes the other way.
Nice.
And
Even
so,
better.
well, it depends on
Cool.
which way you want the wheel to go. So,
That's
yeah.
great.
But
That's
no,
great.
yeah, it's super neat, right? And so like, and as you're doing that, you're gonna activate that wheel from the inside out, right? And so like the inside one typically has the build the terracotta people into the little grid,
Right.
And then the middle one will usually have like something to do with like your resources, and then the outside one will have or like there's also these masters that you can like bribe the masters to get their special abilities. And I got the one that would let you do like the inside one twice, so that was kind of neat because I was able to build multiple guys, and I had a whole bunch of like clay. And one of the neat things about that too, it reminded me of Abomination, is where you would gather the clay and it's wet, but then after the turn it dries out, right? Kind of like your ice melts
sure.
and your body
Cool.
parts get
Yeah,
go
yeah,
bad.
start getting bad.
Yeah, but so the clay dries out, and you have to like take actions to re-wet all your clay in order
Nice.
to use it again. So that was kind of a neat little quirk in there.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
But it was a fun game, and I'm looking forward to trying it again. And actually, with my advanced knowledge now that I know like how things actually are going to work,
Sure.
I think I'll be a threat.
Well, you're usually a threat anyways,
Yeah.
unless we're playing. I don't know.
Don't
There's a
tell
couple
them.
games you're straight up bad at,
Yeah.
like Keyforge.
And then after that, last night, along with a bunch of Magic, I broke down and played some Into the Echo Side with them because they
Oh.
love that game. Like I showed it to them, they jumped on board, they bought it, they went out and found all the expansions for
Wow.
it.
They got the
All-
expansion?
Yeah, like,
That's hard to
dude,
do.
I know, and then like they love this game.
Wow.
So sat down, played a couple rounds of that, and then we played some more Magic. So
Sounds all right.
Sweet.
Unless you're
Not
Dan and
too
you hate
bad.
it.
Yeah.
You know,
somewhere Dan's going.
yeah. That's where he is now. He's
Yeah,
just
just-
sleeping
yeah,
because
yeah.
he's like, oh, they're going to talk about Magic the whole time.
Yeah.
Uh,
that was not a bad week of games.
Yeah, it isn't terrible. Spencer, what you got?
Oh, well, I actually got together with some of the people from the group that I had not normally gamed with, and we played Reality Shift.
Oh, right on.
That's the three-dimensional racing game.
Yeah.
With Reality Shift, you have cards, and you can use the cards to either move your eraser. You also have a die, and whenever you roll on the die, you have to move your eraser that many spaces. So you could also use your card to turn your eraser around so you don't crash into a wall or a person. And then you could also move these blocks or rotate them or make them roll.
Yeah,
And-
depending on the card.
yeah,
right.
depending on the card. And so you could be crushing your opponents or hiding the
Objective,
objective,
either
yeah,
finish line.
the finish line, and it was pretty fun.
Where'd you play that at?
Where'd I get it? Oh, I got that at Gen Con.
No, where
Did
did
you?
you?
It
Oh,
looks
you think
really
at your house.
great.
Okay, nice. Because
And I remember when you guys demoed it at Gen Con, the people at the booth were literally watching them, and the block would flip, and people were actually really
Yeah.
getting into it.
And there's
looks-
kind of like
it
a
is
magnetic
great
aspect to it,
Yes,
right?
there's
Is it-
magnets, so you're on the side of the box. And
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad you bought that because I almost did.
Same.
It looks
And I did.
really cool.
At Origins,
I got
they
the
had
deluxe
it.
version.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's got a mat on the bottom, so you can also drive
Okay.
on the mat on the bottom.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. No, but so when I saw that at Origins and the guy was demoing it, and like there was already a full table, and the guy's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, did you want to come, over here and sit down?" I'm like, "Oh, it's okay. I'm gonna watch." See what you, and the guy, like, I don't know if he just didn't know what he was doing, He was so unenthusiastic about it, and just like kind of like, oh, I think I can do this. I think you can do this, and it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm glad I'm not sitting down. And I ended up not buying it, but I'm glad you got it because I want to try it out because it looks super interesting.
Yeah, when Dan and I demoed it, the girl there was like super enthusiastic about the game, and she was like, I didn't know you could use this just to kill each other. I'm like, well, yeah, of course.
Welcome to my game group.
Yeah.
The one downside we saw, which may just be because it was new and we were all learning, is there was a fair amount of downtime
Okay.
between turns, especially since you're trying to figure out, okay, if it rolls, how does it roll? And you're not allowed to pick up a block and look.
I was gonna ask that. Can you look to see what's on the other side? Nope. It's just roll it or no.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
And you can roll up on top of things, and so you can start stacking them up.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was pretty
Interesting.
cool.
Yeah.
Then we played Nemesis.
Wow.
So I'm trying to remember his name, but he owns Nemesis,
Okay.
and he's never played it.
Oh, is it Paul?
No, not Paul.
Oh, okay.
The guy out.
Matt?
Matt.
Yeah, it was Matt.
Matt. Okay, yeah.
So Matt has never played it, and so I'm like, okay, well, I know this game pretty well. I can teach it. Yeah, let's play it.
Oh, were you guys gaming out of his house? He's got a
Yeah,
fantastic setup.
Oh, he has such a great setup.
Yeah,
Oh,
he does. Sorry, Mike.
his light
That's a-
table
That's a good setup.
I've heard.
and all of those 3D
What's this whole separate
environment.
Uh-huh.
So we played that one. We won by the skin of our teeth.
As
Oh
you
my
should with
goodness.
Nemesis, if you win at all.
Yeah, it came down, and the funny thing was Jonathan was playing, and he was just like an alien magnet. He was over here, and the queen pops up, and then the breeders pop up. I'm like, I've never even seen the breeders pop up, and more things. And he moves, and they just all happen to move with him. We're like, dude, you keep them over there.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the laboratory. It was, he loved it,
Nice.
and that's the
That's
important
great.
part.
Yeah.
That's great.
And so,
Fantastic.
and Paul asked to play Lockdown.
Oh, right.
Unfortunately, I did not get to actually do it because the timing didn't work. But
Sure.
we're going to try. After that, we played SolForge. Me and Dan. This is a brand new game.
Oh, yeah, that card game.
The card game. Actually, yeah, it's by Stoneblade, I think. It's kind of like Magic and not. You have these alleyways, and each one has a front and a back. In the front of the alleyway, you can attack. In the back, you're only defending. And the forge will switch sides. The person who has the forge can play his cards in the front, and the person who doesn't have it has to play them in the back. But you also, every time you play a card, you then go through another deck, find the upgraded version of that card, put it in your discard pile. When this card dies, the original one dies, it goes into the banished pile. So it's automatically upgrading every time
When
you
it
use
dies.
it.
Interesting.
It's a cool mechanic, but it's also, you gotta remember to do it.
It's a little fiddly,
A
but
little bit
Yeah.
fiddly.
it sounds like it would be an amazing app.
Oh my gosh,
Because it would
amazing.
automatically
That would be
upgrade.
Do that stuff
perfect for an
you,
app.
Yeah.
Now I want to go see if that's on Tabletop Simulator or
So
what was the other one?
what was it called? SolForge?
SolForge.
You said
S-O-L,
sovereignty.
SolForge Fusion.
So soul like the sun.
Soul like the sun. SolForge Fusion. And then we played. I played a little bit of Etherfields because that came in.
Oh, nice.
But I wasn't able to get very far.
Okay.
And it's like the rules are like, well, we'd like to show you what this is, but it's a secret. So
Oh,
just start
right.
playing.
Okay.
And then we played Long Shot, and we did a live version.
We did.
So you can check that out and see who do you think is going to win. And then we did
He did.
Return to Dark Tower
Yeah.
twice. Once with the expansion, and then again, and then we filmed a review for it.
Nice.
That's
So-
great.
Man, I still love that game.
Very
Nice.
It's a really good game.
So yeah, that's a pretty good week too.
Yeah, not bad. Mike.
I played some games.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
Not
Tim.
Mike.
Yes, thank you. I won't answer to anything else. Yeah, last weekend I went to Uncle Mo's house. Uncle Mo is the one that got me into this wonderful hobby. So I like that I'm able to show him new games all
Oh,
the
yeah.
time.
Definitely.
Games he hasn't played yet because he hasn't had a group for a few years. So we played Wingspan,
Oh, okay, yeah.
which I still think is just a very
It's a
solid,
really good game.
classic game. Doesn't overstay its welcome.
have any
Has
of
a
the
lot of
expansions?
different ways to score. I have I don't have Oceania yet, so I play
the
with the
European or whatever?
European
Yeah.
expansion. Yep, I want to try the Nectar. I will eventually. Of course, I had to show him Cubitos.
Yeah, I still haven't played that.
still
You won't
play it,
show
yeah,
me that
play it,
game,
yeah.
but you show everybody else.
I'll show you.
Um,
You just gotta
I
be in the
know.
right
You gotta
place.
be there at the right
He won't
time.
come over, so don't blame me. Anybody that's like, hey, you want to try one of your games, Mike? I'm like, yeah, let's play Cubitos or Long Shot. I just can't stop playing those games.
You know.
He, of course, yeah, I know. Every time we do a rundown, hey, Mike, what'd you play?
Yeah.
Same stuff as last time.
Actually, this isn't even like live or anything. Like we're just rerunning Mike's old clip
Yeah,
of what games.
I'm not actually here.
Because it still applies.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's already photoshopped a different shirt on me.
Yeah.
So
He just wears a green one, and then we just change it every day.
he liked Cubitos. He beat me at Wingspan. I couldn't get a very good card synergy going for whatever reasons. I went heavy on eggs, didn't pan out. We played Marvel Dice Throne. We only played one game, and of course he made a legitimate observation that it could get repetitive after a while because it is really battle Yahtzee. You need more characters to keep it fresh. So
What two characters did you use?
Oh, that is a good question. Did I even? Oh my gosh. I gave him Doctor Strange because
Okay,
the
haven't
play
played him
style is
yet.
fun.
Yeah. And you
I
were-
was Scarlet Witch. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she is
She's over the
obnoxious.
expansion, yeah.
Yeah.
And she keeps making you do the other. Like
She-
she can keep
but
reality warp, keep taking away your
He
die.
was able to get a lot of his spells early.
Oh, okay.
So he actually beat me in Marvel Dice
Not a
Throne.
good day for you.
I know. What's funny is the last time I played with him months ago, I won every game for the weekend.
Oh, so this was
Like we
Mo's
played
revenge.
7 games and I won every single one. And this time, yeah, it was his revenge. Then he beat me at long shot too. And like, I'm usually pretty killer at that game, and I've lost like 2 in a row
Yeah.
because Spencer beat me on Friday.
But
so
don't tell them. They have to watch the
I'm on
video.
a losing streak. Oh yeah, my bad. It was live, so you could have watched it.
Yeah, they might have
Friday.
already seen it. That
I'm
video
sure
is
everybody's
already
seen it
out.
already.
Yeah.
Watch the
The only
mistakes we
game
made.
I won
At least
was
45 people.
Shards of Infinity.
Okay.
I went heavy on the healing strategy. He was going with a lot of the Wraith cards that add a lot of damage. But yeah, I was just able to keep my health too high for him to bring me down. Just absolutely love Shards of Infinity.
I
2
love that
player is my
game
preferred
so much.
count.
I've never played it any other way.
It tends to drag a little if you play with like 4. I know Bob and I had a game a while ago that dragged, but you know we were doing a lot of teaching with kids too. But
Right.
it's still light enough that you can play it with kids, which I think is what makes it an amazing game. And the one that he enjoyed the most, which just moves up my list every time I play it, is Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Yeah.
Arnak. I
That's a solid
just
game.
absolutely love that game. It's one of the best deck builder worker placement. It's my favorite actually when you mesh the 2 mechanics. I actually do prefer it over Dune Imperium. I like how the strategies feel more open-ended. And when you start with
Tech tree
these,
is cool.
yeah, the tech tree is cool, and I like how it starts with you feel limited, and then you get more cards, and you get more stuff. And then round 5 is just so epic, and you're just doing more and more and more. And
I also
it just
feel
builds
like it's
to a grand finale.
It's not
I
as
like.
punishing as Dune Imperium.
Yeah,
I
Dune
feel like
Imperium is very tight.
Is a much tighter,
Very much tighter.
strategic game.
That might be why I prefer
And
Dune
Arnak
Imperium.
is a little looser. I think
It is
but-
looser, and why I don't put Dune Imperium as high, in my personal opinion, is because it feels more linear.
Sure.
You must battle. You must be. I know Dan says there's a strategy where you can go all in on the cards that just give
Don't.
you points.
Yeah.
And heavy
It's tough, and
recruit.
you gotta be lucky with
and
the
go
entry
up all
or
the
whatever.
tracks.
Yeah.
But battling is way easier, and you kind of have to do that, so it's a more linear strategy. Whereas Lost Ruins is much more open-ended, and I prefer
Yeah.
those type of games. But
Have you tried Arnak with the?
I still haven't used the expansion.
You have it though, right?
I have it, yeah. But I didn't
do it,
want to
man.
teach it
Oh,
with
yeah.
that.
Oh, sure.
So that because that was definitely the
We'll let it slide.
heaviest game we played. And then last one I'll mention, I went over to my buddy Brent's house. We played Long Shot again, but also we played Detective Nightmare in the Mirror.
Oh, Detective.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
I got some
And that
messages
was-
about
played
this.
that
That
one?
was pretty cool. I was messaging Tim about it, and like we
I played that
enjoyed
one.
it, and we kind of cheated and flipped over our archive because we didn't think we had all the answers. Like, what the heck are we missing? And we were trying to get answers before we did the grand reveal of the card telling us.
Yeah, I
so like,
mean,
let's just get all the answers.
Tailor
and
it to
see
your
what the heck.
experience.
We didn't at first, but when we made all our guesses, then we realized I don't think we quite have this figured out.
Yeah.
And then we started flipping over it like you had another map card, right? Okay, let's flip that one over. All right, and then we end up flipping more and more, agreeing to flipping them.
Once you start,
But we
you
only
can't
got
stop.
like 3 out of 5.
Even then.
But we missed very crucial information on the crime scene. We did not investigate the crime scene thoroughly enough. And
Be
both of those misses were the answers that
Yeah.
we missed.
I
And
love those detective games.
They are good.
So
It was
much.
great.
They're
Yeah.
really good.
I enjoyed it a lot. He
Yeah,
enjoyed
really
it a
good.
lot, but you know, he was a little miffed that was like,
Oh,
well,
sure.
I can't believe that one tiny little thing we missed in there. I'm like, but it's the crime scene.
It is,
Thematically,
yeah.
that makes
Come
sense.
on,
yes.
We
Look at
should
the
have caught
whole
that
thing.
stuff.
Yes.
I'm
Whole
fired
thing.
as a detective, I'll tell you.
And sometimes I like,
We'll
am I
switch you on
overthinking
academically.
this?
There you go.
The answer's usually no.
Paid.
Right.
Hey,
Sweet.
division.
Yeah,
there we go.
that's all of mine.
All right.
You know
go on,
what?
go on.
Actually, Friday after we did Long Shot, I'll just mention, because I love this game, Smartphone Inc.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I saw
nice.
a picture you played.
Yeah, we played
Now I'm
with
jealous.
Jesse and 2 of his friends. They're definitely more casual gamers, and they picked it right up.
Nice.
I won, but I think experience helps a lot in smartphone, especially during planning. But his one buddy did a strategy I've always wanted to try, and he was able to pull it off perfectly, was go heavy tech. He had every technology. He was
Nice.
able to pull 5, 6 technology
yeah.
the last 2 rounds.
Wow.
Had all of them. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. He just filled up. He was able to sell. The max number of goods in this game is 18. Didn't know that. Sold all of them. So,
Wow.
yeah, very cool, different playthrough. Love that game.
Nice.
Well, and again, it's kind of fun sometimes when you're playing with new people or just new to you people, and you see their approaches, and it's like, oh,
I never thought
Right.
about trying that.
I never even thought about trying that.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
great.
and I don't know about you. Sometimes, like when you're playing a game, especially if it's one you're familiar with, it's like, well, I've never won doing this. I'm going to try this.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love doing
Especially if
that.
you're playing with new people. You know,
That's
because,
what I look for in games.
Yeah, yeah. Because then it's like, well, I'm going to just gun for this. And also,
Right.
sometimes if there's like a random setup, you know, the game's not on rails, so you really have that also allows you to sort of build your skill set. And it's like, okay, this is what I've got in my hand, so I've got to find a way to roll with this and not hope that I can ditch this hand and then get the play style I like.
That's
Right,
why I like
right,
Race
right.
for the Galaxy,
'Cause-
because that is Race for the Galaxy right there.
Yeah, you've just got to be able to just go with whatever, you know, lands on
Yeah,
you.
he came in second. It was cool to see him go heavy tech. I won with logistics. I spread out all over.
Yeah.
Oh, right
and
on.
I was just hitting markets they didn't have access to.
Well, I'll bust through my games real quick then. I played Lovecraft Letter, same game with Bob. Really love it. Learned Acropolis. I was really impressed by it. I think that is going to be a very awesome, hot, like, gateway game. The price point on it is very reasonable.
Yeah.
The ease of teach and learning is very good. And it feels like there's a lot of strategy in there. And again, right? So
And we have a
I'm gonna
review.
beat a dead horse here.
Do we have a
Acropolis.
review?
Yeah.
Foundations of Rome.
Yes.
Okay.
Here we go.
About the same depth level.
No.
I don't think Foundations
No.
is very deep at all. You think Acropolis is deeper?
No.
Because
What?
I think they're the same level.
No.
I think
Foundations
Foundations
has
of,
more.
Income turns. or-
Foundations of Rome is so light.
If you
so
play with none of the modules,
light.
yes, it's much lighter.
I guess
Yeah,
even with the
that's-
modules, it felt light. But anyways, I'm
I
just
don't-
saying, you've got Acropolis right here. Nice components, great art, really pretty on
Imagine
the table.
Acropolis with some cool 3D printed.
Sure, but
like-
imagine not having to spend $250 for the
That's true.
version of a very
I
simple
think,
game.
I think the one on our shelf is $27.
The Acropolis.
Yeah, at their FLG.
Yeah,
this year.
so it's a
Yeah.
great buy
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
for a great game, right?
I don't
that's
totally
fine.
understand the hate on a game because it's light on rules. As long as it's designed
It's-
well,
it's
and
not that
offers
it's
good
It's
decisions.
not that it's light on rules. It is
but it's
heavy on
expensive
price.
and light on rules.
Yeah,
I still think it's a well-designed game.
I
with-
do too. It's a fantastically
but is it
designed
worth
game.
as much
Yeah,
money as
the
you're
cost
spending?
to entry is high.
High?
I won't
Cost
buy
That is an
it.
understatement.
I won't buy
Yes.
it because
Cost
I can
per
play
play.
his.
Yeah.
But it's a great game.
That's why I don't regret Dark Tower. That thing cost me a fortune, but I've played that like 20
No,
times.
but also it's very
Exactly.
satisfying to play. I have
So
yet
satisfying.
to feel satisfied playing Foundations of Rome, and I thought
You haven't played with Hot Mike.
Let me go ahead and drink this Haterade so that Tim doesn't drink it
Hold
all.
on. Do I have to smoke after playing Foundations
You
of
might
Rome?
want one. Yeah.
Keep it up, boy. Let's go.
We also played Doodle Dash. I really enjoyed
That's
it.
so
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
I know
that was
really
that
forgot
Dan
to
likes to
write that
poo-poo
down.
that game, but I think it's just a lot of dumb fun. And I don't know if
Dumb
it's the
fun.
drawing of it, but it's a fun party
It
game.
is.
Yeah, it's great.
You know,
love
and
party games.
I enjoy the conversations. Like, I enjoy seeing what everybody else drew.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, like, it's just a blast.
Because Telestration gives you that laugh at people's drawings, but when you have to speed draw,
Oh,
the
it's-
drawings are so much more funny.
Yes.
It's great.
No,
Yes.
I played one where someone, two people, the first two, had the same idea, and the third person was like, I bet you they're going to have that idea. I'm going to do a different definition of the word.
Yeah.
And I got his, because I couldn't figure out the others.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's the brilliance behind
Great.
Doodle Dash.
It's fun, but when you're talking about fast writing, though, I still love Pictomania.
Oh, sure.
It's a great
Sure.
drawing fast kind of game.
I haven't played that one.
Also played Regency, which hopefully will be
that's a
coming
fun
to
game.
stores soon. That is
Yeah.
a Kickstarter. James Fazio, I think it's Fazio. I apologize if I'm wrong. Anyways, but I really enjoy Regency. I think everybody that sat down on the table that played it with us liked it too.
Yeah.
Like I didn't hear anybody complaining about it. I think
Nope.
everybody was like, "Oh, okay," and you know, because it's a set collection game where you're gathering different casts
Yep.
for your society, for your tableau,
Wrong
right?
classic.
And then also though that's sort of engine building in a sense because some cards you can't play unless you have a military guy, right,
Right.
or a priest. You know what I mean? You know, so you have to. And there, I like that the cards are your currency and they're also abilities that you can play and actions you can take. So I think Regency is sort of a sneaky good game that it's going to need some attention to get out there, but I think the people that play it are going to really like it. We also played Stranger Things, Attack of the Mind Flayer,
Yeah.
it is.
which is straight up Growl reprint. But I think that the Stranger Things IP is going to help get that game, a game that I love,
Yeah.
on other people's tables.
Yep.
It's in
And-
Walmart.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, awesome.
Not that you should buy it
It's in
there. but
Target.
it's there.
Target.
It's
I've seen
out
Target.
everywhere.
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
it's got exposure, is what I was
It's a
getting
really
at.
it's a
Lots of
really
exposure.
great take on a social deduction game.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really good.
Some of my favorite mechanics for a werewolf type game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, and for Bob who does not like werewolf and social deduction.
Not really.
Well, that form of social deduction, you do enjoy.
Sure.
Yeah, but anyways,
Hidden Trader.
played some Shards of Infinity with Justin at work, and he got bamboozled by me. I got him good.
Uh-oh.
I got him good. I did it what I did to you when we played that one time, and I rushed building up my energy.
I've never seen anybody get their mastery up so high
And-
or that quickly.
What was hilarious is that I was like, "Oh, you better kill me this turn," and he's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "You'll see." And he didn't. I had 4 health.
Snipe.
I had 4 health left, and he had like 37.
Oh, wow.
Because I was just like rushing the
All
energy card.
mastery.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
mastery and
wow.
card draw. All mastery and card draw.
It's a fun strategy
I'm
when you pull it
cycling,
off.
So I'm cycling through,
Uh-huh.
you know, I'm drawing cards, and he's like, gosh. And I wasn't buying a ton of cards because I would spend my 2 in it to up my energy level up. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And then, and so my deck stayed pretty thin. Again, was able to just kind of buzz through it. Worked out pretty well. He did kick my butt in one game we had though, and it was like, oh god, I could not. He had like a life gain thing going on, and I just could not get past it.
Nice.
You know. So, anyways, I really just Shards of Infinity is so good. I
is.
really need to get my hands on the expansions for that
You
game.
do.
I've played a few rounds of Marvel Dice Throne. I played as Thor versus Loki.
How did that go, Tim?
Oh boy! If you're on the Discord channel, you will have heard about how my Spider-Man versus Scarlet Witch game went. So I was playing Miles Morales. I had 3 turns in a row where I scored 0 qualifying hits,
Wow.
and then I hit, and then I had 2 turns in a row with 0 qualifying rolls for hits.
Oof.
So I want to love this game so much. I really do. I love the theme. I'm kind of on the art, but I love the theme. I love the colors. I just don't like the stylized version of the characters
Right.
that
Yeah,
they've
a little
chosen to
weird.
do.
Yeah.
But it's in line with the Dice Throne proper like fantasy style characters. Like it's all the same artist.
Yeah.
And it's not bad art. It's just not art that I prefer. And then so seeing characters that I'm very familiar with rendered in that style is like, oh, okay. You know, like I think Marvel Champions does a really good job of like artistic renditions or whatever you want to call it, versions of those characters that I like.
Right.
You know, and I mean the art's consistent throughout. I just don't always love it. and there is dice mitigation. There's things like that. But I just, every time I play this game, I find myself getting absolutely screwed to the point where I'm just frustrated. Like, just frustrated.
Wow.
I'm an easygoing guy. I can go with bad rolls. It happens. Like I played a lot of Warhammer growing up. There's good and bad days, on the rolling them dice. I don't mind chucking dice. But I before we review it and I give my like official opinion, I do want to play as all the characters because I think your mileage may vary, right? Like I think I had more fun playing as Thor than Spider-Man, which is disappointing because I love Spider-Man. But I've got Doctor Strange. I haven't played yet. Black Widow, Captain Marvel, and Black Panther that I've not played yet. And when I haven't played as Thor or I mean Loki or Scarlet Witch, but I'm trying to see all the characters. And I think all the characters, actually, to the game's credit, all make sense from what I've seen so far. Like they all feel very thematic. So while I don't love the art, I think that the way that they have tailored the characters so far all make really...
They feel completely different.
Yeah, they all feel completely different, and they all make sense to the character and like the stuff they're doing. As much as I hated getting hit with reality warp, where Scarlet Witch makes me roll one of her die instead of mine, as much as it sucked, I'm like, that's an awesome ability. And I hated being on the other side of it, but it's like, game recognized game, right? Like, no, that's great. Like, he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Every time you do it, I'm like, dude, do not apologize for trying to win a game that we were playing. Like, don't. Like, just don't take 20 minutes taking your turn. Then you can apologize to me.
I've seen another combination, and I can't remember which one it was, where these two characters, is like one was almost built to completely shut down the other one.
Oh, okay.
And so I've seen that before, actually.
Like a rock, paper, scissors type of thing?
It's sort of.
Sure.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And you may... so maybe you will encounter that eventually, right? But if you're that deep into Dice Throne, you're going to have a large enough stable of characters to choose from that you're going to be able to work around that.
And know which ones maybe create those
situations.
situations.
Like, let's not do that.
Right, you don't want to play that versus this guy because I'll crush you because this ability really kind of, squashes that.
And
I'm still learning those combos.
And I've only played 1v1. Like I haven't done the King of the Hill or any of the other stuff yet.
Okay.
So there are other play styles, versions you can play. But I mean, a very well-made game. I feel like that it's designed very well. Everything feels like it works the way it should. It was very easy to teach, very easy to learn. So all compliments to all of those things. I just get very frustrated when I play it. But like critically though, is like from a technical standpoint of the game, like Foundations of Rome, it is very well. There's no sharp edges on that thing, right? It is smooth and polished. I just feel like it, and then like today, for example, moving on from Marvel Dice Throne, I played 2x2 with my kids. It is like basically a game where you've all got your own arc. We're not particularly religious in my house, but it's basically the story of Noah, and you're trying to get you have to place a water tile on the board. And then you score points based on how many water pieces that one's touching. And then you can place your ark or your boat anywhere on the outside on a water tile. And if you pick like a spot next to a giraffe, you pick up that giraffe, but you have to be able to pick up its mate somewhere, right? Or a pair. So you're trying to get pairs. So if I want a giraffe, but there's no giraffes anywhere else on the board, I can't take that one. So and then you've got on the board itself is sort of like your player board. So you put your stacks of the guys you're collecting over there, and it's very simple. This is very much a kid's game, but yeah, I mean, for playing with my kids for 20 minutes, a game that holds their attention, and it's kind of like, Mallory, she's 10, she's more into some of the strategy and like trying to place in the right spot. Clark was just going for the animals he likes. Like, I want monkeys, I want this dog, I want the tigers. Cool, bud. And again,
were they handsome monkeys?
They were handsome monkeys. That's what you did there.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, 2x2. It's a nice older, kids game, and we enjoyed it. That's games we played.
Nice.
All right.
Also, again, Sovereignty. I played Planet Unknown. Super good. Check out Sovereignty and Planet Unknown. Great game.
Yeah.
Let's go to news. This week, the week of this show coming out, D23, the Disney convention where they make all their big announcements, upcoming projects and everything. Well, they've leaked an announcement that they've already got something cooking, and they're going to actually talk a lot more about it later this week. So the next time we do news, I will hopefully have a lot more information on this. But they're doing Disney Lorcana they're partnering with Ravensburger Games, and so Ryan Miller, who is their brand developer, is building. They've been working on this game for years, a Disney-based collectible card game. It is supposed to be like Disney The Gathering, right? Like not Magic. Yeah, they're not calling it that, but like the news sites are kind of calling it that. Yeah, it's Disney Lorcana, but they've announced that they're going to have organized play. They're going to drop like 4 sets a year. Wow. Now they said that they're going to announce 7 characters at D23, which is September 9th through the 12th. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if the characters are going to play like Planeswalkers, or if it's going to be like a Shards of Infinity thing where you've got your play mat, but maybe that gives you an asymmetric ability. Right. You know, so you know, maybe you buy the Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey box set, right?
Sure. So customizable decks, though, huh?
That's what it sounds like. It's not a living card game.
That's be my next question.
It is not a living card game.
Interesting.
And speaking of not living card games, Fantasy Flight has announced already that they're doing a Star Wars deck building game coming out, but it is not like the original Star Wars, the deck builder, where you would have like light side versus dark side.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
This is much more of a duel-based game, and that is also not a living card game. Okay. So, but they have said very little.
Collectible card game.
Yes.
Okay. I like that old Star Wars one where you used to take like the cards on top, and that was like your force.
Craig and I used to play that all the time, and then you're trying to control the different areas.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so good.
I wish I could find those cards. They're somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I wish.
My brother might have them.
Yeah. My cards?
No, mine. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, he's in Atlanta. I'm never going to see those cards again. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there was a spy that came up from Georgia that probably stole all of Bob's stuff. Took it down to your brother. Some exciting news, right? For a minute, it looked like the geek market on BGG was going to be gone. They were canceling it. But I think due to the overwhelming reaction by the
our
community,
show.
Yeah. From the community. And legitimately, like in a very good and productive and positive way, they really wanted to buoy this thing and like keep it going. And so BGG like really restructured it. I don't know all the fine details or anything yet, but it sounds like it's going to transition over very easily. So like your listings and everything, and it's all going to work very similar, in a similar fashion. But I don't really understand also why they were going to just drop the BGG market to begin with. It seems so weird because I've done I've done a few transactions on there. I do mostly more trades than anything if I do anything on BGG other than looking up games. But I mean, the geek market up there is huge.
Yeah, I've had success with it.
I've never had a bad experience. Yeah. Right.
My Raw, my Black Fleet.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, like they all came from that.
Well, okay, so I bought a copy of War of the Ring off of a guy. Off the BGG market. It came incomplete.
Did he tell you it was incomplete?
No, he didn't realize it. His kids got into the game.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And then he couldn't find the pieces. So I got my money. Not only did I get my money back, but he helped me find a different BGG listing. And he's like, this one looks complete. You can just keep the one I sent you. Because I was like, I'll send you a game back, man.
Something.
Because I don't want to. I'm not that person. I don't need to hold on to your stuff. How dare you send me an incomplete game? I was just like, hey, can you look for this? Like if you find it, send it to me.
Right.
If not, I can just send you the game back and I'll buy a different one. But he helped me find somebody else, and I was able to buy a copy of War of the Ring. And I felt really bad because it was sort of at this gentleman's expense, but I also appreciated just his honesty and his, But so, anyways, positive experiences with the BGG market. And I bought a couple other things on there here and there. I bought my Fluke der Mummy, my Escape the Mummy game from Germany off the BGG market, and really great experiences there. So I'm really glad that it's gonna stay around. I think that's super important, and a Board Game Geek, while I don't probably use it as much as I should, is such an important tool in our hobby and in our community. It is a great
resource
to just find out information, to engage with people, and it's great.
I met my first gaming group through Board Game Geek.
Oh, right on.
Researched guilds in the area and found one in Warsaw. So.
Oh, right on. Perfect.
Yep, absolutely.
And now you don't talk to them anymore and you play games with us. I'm just playing.
Not as much as I used to.
Yeah, well, but no, that's great.
It happens.
That's great. Last bit of news I've got is upcoming Kickstarter that I think Spencer is going to be very excited about.
Oh.
Have you heard about Sagrada Artisans?
No.
Sagrada, the legacy game.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So each player is going to have like a notebook
Is this
and
one
colored
where-
pencils.
It takes 100 and something years, and you'll never actually finish it.
Maybe. Oh, like any legacy game in my collection. This
Oh,
boy.
I like
mine.
the grotto, the actual cathedral.
Yeah. But yeah, there's not a ton announced about it yet. But some of the screenshots you can see that you have like a spiral notebook, and it looks like you're shading in
Cool.
with colored pencils. You know, like as you were doing it. So it looks really interesting.
Colored pencils.
Sure. Wait, do we have colored pencils in our? I think I put colored
You put
pencils
colored pencils in there.
in my cartographers because I love cartographers.
Well, keep it to blues and yellows.
Fine, whatever.
And
That's
black.
all.
Black is fine.
That's all I got for news. You guys have anything else for news?
I looked. I did not have the same luck you had. I couldn't find anything.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to be just tapped into that industry, bro.
You got it, man.
Just playing.
Well done, Tim. Is your back hurt carrying the news episode
I
here?
pat myself on it nonstop. No, it's all good. I love it. All right, guys, let's go into crowdfunding. Crowdfunding.
Crowdfunded.
Trailblazers.
Nope, you're good.
Good. Yes, this is a game that I saw when we were at Origins,
Yes.
except it didn't actually have like a full copy. You couldn't really buy it. You could sort of play it. Oh, you guys are all smiling about something.
I think we talked about this in the last.
Yeah, I wasn't here. You guys said that you talked about it, but I don't think that Yeah, you told me, but I just want to let you know.
Yeah, no,
there's
yeah,
11
go for
days
it.
left.
Let's
Keep
start.
going.
Tell us what's exciting about it to you.
Yeah.
Actually, the thing I like most about it is the fact that it is meant for travel.
Taking with you.
To take with you. The
Yeah.
cards are completely waterproof, but you have to get that version.
The deluxe version.
Yeah, the deluxe version. And so I'm like, I'm close. I don't know. I might just go for the travel version because it is the cheaper one because it has fewer cards, but it's still completely waterproof than the standard version.
I love the idea of it and the theme.
Oh yeah,
Also, you said your family's camping this weekend. Yeah, I camp
yeah.
all the time.
Camp
Love
all the
theme.
time, and I think it's probably my kids will like it. It says ages 8 and up. I'm pretty certain I can get my 6-year-old to play it.
That's huge.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
Yeah, it helps.
Bears and deer meeples. I mean, what
Oh, yeah.
family wouldn't enjoy that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
stuff?
exactly.
Looks cool.
Yeah, and they now have a print and play. I did not know that they were going to do that, so that's awesome. That's only $10. There's a $34 pledge. That's the one where it's not as many cards as a standard pledge, but that one is. Oh wow, there we go. I'm new to this thing. Wow, there we go. So you have a $34 pledge, then you have a $50 pledge. That's the standard $49. But the one that I would normally get is the $79 pledge. That is the deluxe standard everything. That, man, I can't quite do that right now with my finances. But man, I would do that. And you have 11 days, so I think it says September 6th. Not September 6th. Not 6th. Man, I am behind.
So I got
down
I got a
here.
question for the guys while Spencer's
Yeah,
looking.
16th.
Would you rather have unlimited finances to buy any version of any game you want?
Yes.
Or would you rather have unlimited time to play all of your games?
You scumbag.
I know.
I'm gonna go with time because with unlimited time, I can make the money to buy the games I want to make.
But what if you could only?
That's like
use
wishing
that
for
time
more
to play
wishes.
games?
Not allowed.
That just blew my mind right there. I didn't think you got 3 wishes. Wow.
Yeah, they had this huge map at Origins where they were just putting up the squares, and they were seeing how many there were, and they were wanting people to guess how long the longest trail was.
Okay.
I really have no idea how long it got, but it was way up in the hundreds.
Awesome.
I want to. It looks fun. So September 16th, and check it out.
All right.
Bobby.
Yeah. So mine is called Nanolith, which is a cyberpunk RPG. And one of the tags on there is they talk about how it's like a Final Fantasy board game, right? It feels like, and so as soon as I saw that, I was like, I'm in. Right.
Well, newer Final Fantasy,
Yes,
not old Final
correct.
Fantasy.
I was gonna there. It's more so since it's cyberpunk, it is the
Right.
newer type of Final Fantasy, not the old fantasy based.
Yeah.
Right. So it's the
More
newer.
the final base.
But yeah, more of a final base, correct. But it's 1 to 4 players, cooperative, RPG type. It's got push your luck aspects. You're solving riddles, and it's got like choose your own adventure types of things that you're going through a storyline.
So like branching pathways. and
Correct.
things.
So it's like 50 to 60 hours of total play time throughout the whole
Man,
thing.
it'd be really nice if you had unlimited time.
It's exact. See.
Wow.
Boom. And we would film it, put it up, and make the money we need to buy more games
But-
to play with all this time we have.
If you had unlimited money, you could actually back it.
Well, sure. So there's a standard
Not in
version.
my book.
There's a standard version for $80 where it just comes with all acrylic standees
Oh, those.
and whatnot. But then in the deluxe version, you get plastic minis for the heroes. It's still acrylic for the monsters, but you also get acrylic player boards, like a dual-layer acrylic player board, which looks really cool. And then it also comes with an additional arena mode. So you use the inside of like the box basically, and it's got like a map in there, and you're like fighting like I don't want to say Gore Chosen
Nice.
style, but it's like it's like
Yeah.
an arena map, and you're
Yeah.
fighting it out inside of the box. So, but it's only in the deluxe version of it.
That's pretty cool.
Are those
so,
dual player boards I see?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Boing. But yeah, no, it looks pretty cool. It still has. Whoops, I hit the wrong button there. It's got about a week left by the time this airs. So if you're interested in it, get on it. It is safe, as Dan likes to say. It's completely funded. It's by Woodpecker Games. It's a JRPG, cooperative skirmish type game.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, it sounds really interesting. So I'm gonna think real hard about
Yeah,
it.
it looks like the acrylic
doubt.
standees have a black background
How much?
So you can
instead
see
of
it.
clear.
How much is it to back?
It was $80 for the standard and $100 for the deluxe.
Oh, that's not
Yeah,
bad.
so if you're gonna get it, you might as well get the deluxe.
No
'cause It comes
doubt.
with a lot of extra stuff, and
No
that's how
doubt.
we roll.
Unless it's like, oh, here's this premium cloth bag for $20
yeah,
to hold
thanks.
your dice.
Yeah, no. Let me with the extra game mode, right? And
Yeah,
then the
no,
actual
no,
minis
no.
for your
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. No, when
it
there's
makes it
actually a deluxified version.
Yeah.
But I have seen like deluxe where it's like,
That's the deluxe.
here's a bag,
Yeah.
and like a bar of soap
Thanks.
themed with the game. It's like,
It takes the
whatever.
rulebook from square down to normal size. And it's like, I'm in.
Yeah. That's
So,
true.
yeah.
Mike, you got one you're excited about?
I do. First of all, the Project Ironside. This is inexpensive. Well, inexpensive these days because all these tables now are
Thousands.
Oh,
like
yes.
several $1,000s, and yeah, they're beautiful and probably worth the money. I have a custom-made game table, but I kind of want another one, so I don't want to spend a lot of money on it. And this Project Ironside metal table with shipping is $5.59, which I think is extremely
That's very
reasonable
reasonable. Yeah.
for a gaming
shipped,
table.
right?
That's shipped.
Yeah.
That is
Okay.
Even
That's
more
great.
so.
It's got every feature or add-on you would want in a table. It's got extensions, cup holders, deck holders, component holders, toppers, and it's customizable. You can get 2 different ones and make it a modular table. It's standard a 3x5. You can make it a 3x10. You can make it a 6x5. So yeah, inexpensive game tables. Look up Project Ironside. You
Yeah.
probably don't need me to tell you about it by now because it's raised $3.2 million.
Yeah.
So,
But if these guys
Only like
talk
5
me
people
into it, I might get a second table
Oh, that'd
for
be
the
a bummer.
basement.
So one of
I
the things
would-
I worry about is, sorry,
Oh,
Spencer.
and you can get padded armrests.
Oh,
I
that'd be
forgot
awesome.
about that
Oh,
touch.
that's
But they
nice.
talk about it being modular, but if like the bottom part has like the felt on it or whatever, and it's modular, and you bring it up next to each other, do you have that crack in the between those two, or do you get something that goes over the whole thing? I guess you get like a separate game mat maybe to
No,
cover.
it
the
comes
whole...
with a game mat that covers the top. So
Okay.
it's that.
There's no
Why can't I
crevice in-
remember
Okay.
what mouse pad material is called?
neoprene?
Neoprene. Thank you.
Yeah.
It escaped me.
Or
but
mouse
it's a
skin.
neoprene.
mouse skin.
It's a neoprene mat for your for the table.
However, I would like to point out that it says here if you want to do the $399 pledge, there's only 6 left.
Holy cow.
Holy
Yeah.
cow!
There's
Probably
only 6 left
realized
out
that
of
we better-
3,090.
Well,
so
I better
go
hurry.
buy it now.
Yeah. No kidding.
Well, wait a minute. Give Mike about
Yeah,
5
let
minutes
Mike
in.
get his,
Let us
and then
film
get on
it.
there
Wait
and get it.
until later.
Let us finish filming so that Mike can order it, and then you can
As
order
soon
it.
as this is
when you
over,
ask for it.
go and do that.
So one more from one of my favorite publishers, Thunderworks Games. By the time this rundown films, Dawn of Ulos will have released to Kickstarter.
Spoiler alert. It's filming now. You mean
Airs.
drops?
Airs.
Huh?
He
You
means
said by the
airs.
time this
We're
rundown
live.
films.
I thought we were. Wow, I thought we were releasing next Wednesday.
We are.
Okay, there
But
we
you
go.
said when,
But we're
when it
filming right
films. which is
We're
today.
filming now. When this
If you see
releases
the camera, it means we're filming.
Wednesday.
What's really weird is that it's always awkward for us at
Yesterday-
game nights when Mike just talks into anything that remotely looks like a microphone and looks off into the distance
We're not
the
filming
whole
this.
time.
So, Dawn of
Like a
Ulos,
shampoo bottle.
in the role player universe, is actually more of an economic game. It's about kind of taking over territories and bidding for the ones you want, and then bidding for faction cards that'll enable you to manipulate different territories. It looks really unique. I don't often say I'll be a day one backer, but I will be a day one backer.
Well,
It
but
just
you
looks
also
really great.
like Keith Mateka's
Yes,
games.
and that's.
I say that right?
You
Maybe.
did.
Yes.
I did not. But I do have a demo of this game that will be coming out this week.
Sure.
You can check that out when this hits Kickstarter.
So you mentioned this is a fantasy economics game.
It's fantasy themed, but it is more of a bidding economic type game based off of territories
I'm
that
waiting
you
now
control.
for Spencer to come out with the other
Uh-huh.
bomb. But there's only 4 of them left.
Ruined! My life
don't
is
walk.
ruined.
When you talked about that, it reminded me of one of my favorite anime series, Spice and Wolf. And I'm like, Spice and Wolf would actually make a really good game.
Uh-oh.
So designers, get on it.
Well, you just need somebody to buy the IP first.
Yes.
There you go. Because you could design it.
Yeah.
So designers, go buy it.
So the last one I will talk about is the Kinfire Chronicles,
saw
Night's
that.
Fall.
Yeah.
So this is designed by Kevin Wilson. He worked on Arkham Horror. He worked on Descent, things like that. So he is a known quantity. Some games that I actually enjoy quite a bit. And but yeah, so this is a 1 to 4 player, fully cooperative campaign style game. And you are you pick an envelope, you open it up, it's got choices of adventures like you're gonna that you can do, and then you're going to go through, and then whether or not you succeed or fail, then you come back with the things you've gained. You still go to the town, and you adjust your characters, you do things like that. There are adventures that spotlight specific characters, things like that. Looks really cool. I mean, it says start playing in just 15 minutes on their thing because the box is set up in a way where you can just pull things out
start going.
and just start going. And I absolutely
that's
love games
Yeah.
like that, right? Well, I mean, I'm talking about a lot today. Foundations of Rome. You pull that
Pull it
thing
out,
out,
it's ready to go.
your tray. Here's your tray.
Boom.
Here's your tray. It takes so long to pull the top off of that tray and then get started. I hate that. It takes
Yeah.
so long.
I think the
that's
hardest part
awesome.
is like splitting the deck into 3 piles.
Yeah. Oh. For effort. No, I think that is a trend that is happening now
Yeah.
more in games, and I think it's great.
Yeah.
Because the review that just came out, of the Isla Nubar, right? Like all of the complaints, the consistent complaint about that game, whether you like it or not, is the setup is a beast every time you go to play it.
Yeah.
So to have a campaign style game where the setup is going to be really fast sounds really neat.
Yeah.
Keeping the costs down, in my opinion, maybe, because it is. So it's $100 instead of an MSRP of $150. I think $100 isn't bad for a game of this style. Also, though, there's no minis, but they have the acrylic standees. Another trend that I've been seeing, but when they pull it off, it looks really good.
Right.
And the acrylic
Yeah,
standees,
yeah.
look, they look great. And if they're easier to transport, less likely to break. You don't have to paint anything. They come fully colored and look good. There is a premium edition that is for $175. That also, so I don't know what the villains look like, but it says all the villains and monsters, you get acrylics for them as well.
Okay.
But then metal coins and things like,
Sure.
your usual very good deluxified component sort of
Right.
things. So
Cool thing about acrylic too is if you really appreciate the art style, it translates into the acrylic standee really nice.
yeah, exactly. And but yeah, there is. I just thought this was interesting. There's this ultra collection thing, okay, and you get the some of the cards, a unique set of 6-player cards, hand drawn and signed by a member of the art team, right? And then that you get separately. You get your game, you get the upgrade kit, all that good stuff, all the stretch goals, and it's $1,000.
And there's three people who've done that.
No, there's 6
Oh,
people
6
that
people
have
who've
done
done
it
that.
because
Oh
there's
my
only
gosh.
3 left. Spencer,
Wow.
there's only 3
Let's
left.
go buy it now.
Mike, There's only 3 left.
I'm going to go grab this stuff real quick. I'll be back.
But this is by Incredible Dream Studios. I believe they partnered with, now who made Mechs vs. Minions? The League of Legends people. They partnered with them. You know what I mean? Like,
cool.
Like, so this has got some real muscle behind it. And,
Yeah.
and if you played Mechs vs. Minions and you know how well that game is
Produces,
designed and produced, I think that you could buy with confidence. Right, a game like this. Is it
safe?
Oh, it's way safe.
Yeah.
There's like 16 days left, I think. So there's a ton of time. So even when this drops, you still have a week and a half
Nice.
to check it out.
And it looks like if you get anything other than the basic one, you also get the foreteller narration.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Super important to mention. Foreteller
Absolutely.
narration is so good, and the dudes at Foreteller are a ton of fun.
They are.
Full
Yeah,
disclosure.
I'm still waiting for them to answer my email.
Oh.
Well, maybe there's a reason they haven't.
Oh, it must have got lost in the mail.
In the email.
Yeah. I wanted to bring up again real quick. Talked about it last time, but Journey into the Beyond is still going by Handsome Monkey Gaming. It's a 2 to 4 player,
Handsome
customizable. Yeah. Asymmetrical characters, deterministic combat, deadly dungeons. You're navigating this board, trying to build your character up and to defeat the final boss. And it's a lot of fun. The character that I got to try out, the criminal, was super thematic with the way his combos worked and everything. So it's on Tabletop Simulator right now, so you can still get on there and check it out if you're interested in it. But by the time this airs, you'll have a little less than a week, so get on it, because it still needs a little bit of help to get up over that edge to finish funding. So,
Right on, guys. Well, I think that's it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Let me just say thank you. Let us know what you think of the mics.
Yeah.
And the hot
I know
mic.
they block our faces a little bit.
Yeah, that maybe is a bonus, though, right? Like,
Well, for some of
look
you.
better now.
You got a face for radio?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I don't even have a voice for radio. I'm double screwed.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to double check and make certain that we're like always able to be heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but
We'll
you
see.
know, what Kickstarters are you guys excited about? What news did we miss, or that you're particularly interested in? Why is Mike wearing a Purdue shirt and I'm wearing a Notre Dame shirt? Oh wait,
Great question.
we like sports. That's what it is.
We do.
Passionate about our teams.
Both our teams lost.
Go
Who
Sports.
cares? Doesn't matter.
I had to make sure Notre Dame lost before I justified wearing
Listen.
this shirt because my team lost Thursday and his lost yesterday.
Hold on, but neither of our teams embarrassed ourselves.
True.
So we're going to go with that.
Well, you're embarrassing yourself now, so.
I do more than enough. More
I'm
than
gonna go
enough.
back those games.
Team player. Yep. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget Discord, Facebook, like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
All that stuff.
For the Board Game Rundown, I've been Tim.
I was Bob.
And Spencer.
I was Mike.
We'll see you next time. There's only 3 left.
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.